This is Off the Ice, the Nanaimo Clippers Hockey Show on 106.9 The Wolf. With the latest news on the Clippers and the BCHL, here's Dan Marshall.
It's the Nanaimo Clippers Hockey Show Off the Ice, and what a weekend on the ice for the Nanaimo Clippers. A 3-game interior road trip, winning each and every game, a very rare feat, and overall 4 consecutive wins going back to last Saturday against the Powell River Kings. So lots of things to talk about, so many of them positive after a great weekend. You'll hear from head coach and general manager of the Clippers, Mike Vandekamp, in just a quick moment. Also, a couple of Clipper defensemen, Crossley and Shawn Guison, are here. Hockey trivia, Joe D has dug very deep into her bag of tricks to pull out a question. You answer this question correctly on our Facebook page or at 1069 The Wolf on Twitter. You'll go into a draw. Winner's going to get a couple of tickets to an upcoming Nanaimo Clipper home game. The next one is Wednesday against the Capitals, and Joe, because she's always so topical, has picked a Couch and Valley question. Joe, what do you have for us?
Well, the Clippers play Couch and Valley. You said on Wednesday, what was their record against the Capitals last year? Was it 5-3 or 7-1?
Multiple choice. Joe, your questions are always so tough. I'm glad you leave us multiple choice. Let's bring the head coach and general manager of the Clippers on now, Mike Vandekamp, to join us. And, Coach, I don't know if I've ever quite seen you so happy after a road trip than I did on the bus on the way home yesterday. 3-3 going through the interior, including against the team that's first overall in the BC Hockey League. There's just no way to disguise it. That was a fantastic road trip.
Yeah, it really was. It was a lot of fun. Road trips are always challenging with the travel and 3 games in 2.5 days like that. And this one was going to be a real difficult one because all the teams we were playing were playing really well. They were on good streaks. The interior division is a tough division. So, considering all of those things, it was going to be a tough trip. And you know what? We went out there and played well and had lots of fun along the way. And it was just a really enjoyable trip.
I'm a firm believer that for not just a game, but for a road trip like that, the first period in the first game sets the tone. And your guys bought into that because your first 12 minutes in Trail, you were fantastic. You built up a 3-0 lead. To me, that set up the way it was going to go for the whole weekend.
I think every game that we've played lately seems to have set up the next one. It's kind of the way that it's gone for the past little while for us, back to the Trail game at home where we played well, lost in overtime, but certainly had bounced back and played well when we needed to and kind of started to find our game. And we kind of gave us some confidence for the next night when we beat Powell River and at home here. And I think that gave us some more confidence heading out onto the road. And we talked about it in Trail that, the whole trip was going to happen really fast. Momentum is really important to get right at the beginning because sometimes it can just carry you right through a whole road trip like that. And you're right. It seemed like we just got some buy-in, and no question that first little bit of that Trail game was really the key to the entire weekend. And to be able to hold on for the win there, I think that gave us the confidence to knowing that we could win on the road and go into Penticton and play a solid game. We were able to get the win there, and I think again that gives you the desire and the confidence and the hunger to go out and try to finish the trip off in a special way, and that sort of gave us that energy and merit to get it done.
I think when you go to Penticton, they've been so good for the past several years. Their home ice record leading into your game on Saturday from the start of last season was 31-1. There's another place where you have to have success early. You can't be chasing that hockey game, and I think that was vital that you got that goal in the first period early. Yeah,
the good start was the key to that victory for sure. We've played well in that building, although, again, it's a brand new team here again this year. But that building, we've seen a lot of it, obviously playing them in the finals a couple of years ago. And it seems like it's a building that we rise up and play well in. And it's a tough building to play in because they have a good team. And they obviously, record you just said is pretty overwhelming. That's quite a home record. So, but I think we had a good mindset. We had lots of confidence, and obviously, like you said, scoring first certainly was a key to that win.
Evan DeBrouwer is the BCHL Player of the Week, had the shutout in that game, and he just looked in the Trail game, which he won, that Penticton game, always so calm and confident. And there was a couple of times where, of course, like any goaltender does, you have to be acrobatic to keep pucks out of the net. But I thought he really kind of set the tone with the way his body language was for those 2 games.
Yeah, I thought so as well. He really looks like he's finding his game. He's big and strong. He's got a real good level of maturity to him. I think that's the type of goaltender that the team will have confidence in. So I think our team has really got confidence in him, and he seems to be getting real comfortable in there. Obviously, he was a little busier in the Penticton game, particularly a couple different scenarios. I think when they had the 4 power plays in a row, that was certainly a busy time for him and the rest of the guys trying to kill those penalties. And then in the latter stages of the game again, when it they get their goalie out and that kind of stuff, he was busy again, and he was really solid and confident, and hopefully he can just continue to go that way. He came here to rekindle his junior career, find his game, and try to take the next step as a player and as a student moving forward into college in the future here too. So if he can keep that going, hopefully he'll be able to reach those goals.
When you go to Merritt on Sunday, you're in this tiny rink and the guys are a little bit tired, and lo and behold, right in the first shift, one of the Merritt players is breaking up the middle of the ice with speed, and you had to take an early penalty. And I thought that was the eye-opener right there on that first shift with the penalty, that the game just moves so fast in that building.
Yeah, it's a tough building to adjust to. Things are just happening way too fast, I think, and it just changes your game. You have to make those alterations, and if you've never been there before or played in there, you really don't know what to expect. And so it was going to be one of those sort of baptism by fire for our guys. You just got to dive in there and learn as you go, and like you say, to get kind of put back on your heels right away with a penalty. And we got scored on first this time around. We were in a pretty tight spot there, but we just kept digging deep and finding a way. And as the game went along, I thought we played better and better in that rink and made the adjustments fairly quickly. And, we had a lot of heart and desire in that one, to go to overtime and to be able to dig deep and win it late in double overtime was a pretty special moment for our team.
I felt like I was watching a bunch of 19 and 20-year-olds and a team that had nothing but veterans on it, because I think back to the key moments in some of the games, and you might have different ones than I do, but when it's 3-3, momentum's going against you a bit in trail, your guys find a way, Finner and Harris team up to make it 4-3. That's a veteran-type goal. Your team's up 1-0, but you're being outshot and you're on the road in a tough building, and you get a great veteran shift from Spencer Houston making a nice pass to Will and Eve, a couple of 96 birthdays. You get the 2-0 goal. It's huge. And in the game, you're down 2-1 after 20 minutes. And a guy like Ben Solon to Matt Kowalski for a huge goal in the second period to get you even heading into that third period. And, of course, the overtime winner by Finner as well. But I just thought it looked like a bunch of guys, veteran guys, understanding that, hey, the game is here for us at this key moment, and we're going to take it over. That doesn't normally happen with such a young team.
Yeah, I agree. I think we showed a lot of maturity as a team this weekend. We didn't panic really at any point in the entire weekend. We were always pretty calm and confident and focused and just kept playing. And, we didn't get too rattled. And I thought we showed a lot of maturity. We've came a long way in that area. We're 14 games into the season now, and what a difference, what a different team, and hopefully we're over the hump and we can stay consistent now and not take any steps backwards. And I don't expect to win every hockey game, but I think, we've certainly put a template out there now that we can follow and have confidence that we can win every single game and raise our expectations up a little bit higher here too, moving forward, and, start to really expect to win every night. And it's quite a different mentality from where we were, say 3 or 4 weeks ago, as we were, really just still trying to find our game. But we've worked hard at it. All the players have really bought in and worked hard. And I think all of us have together worked hard. We all want to have success, and we knew it was going to take some time, but this last little bit has been going well, that's for sure.
You know that you need that consistency. You've got another game quickly, Wednesday against Cowichan Valley. How do you go about putting that into practice, that, you know what, we've got a 4-game winning streak. That was a great road trip, but that's behind us now. We need to push ahead because the next game is always the most important game.
Well, I think just have a good practice tomorrow. We got good rest in today. Got back pretty late last night, as you know, and just got a rest day in today, and we'll have a full work day tomorrow and just turn the page. You're not going to spend too much time talking about what happened behind you. I think that's a memory that the guys will remember forever and will come up later on in life when you think back about being able to sweep a road trip like that. And hey, maybe we still got, 3 more of those this year. So maybe we can do it again this year. We'll get back to that moment, later on in the future. We can draw from that. I think right now we just got to live right in the now here. Just have a good practice tomorrow and be focused. And we should have good energy and a real positive, positive attitude, positive energy around our team right now. So that should lead to a really good practice, and prepare properly on Wednesday for the game and go out and try to execute as best that we can.
In the time you've been here in Nanaimo, there was one tiny window in the 2012-2013 season where you had two goaltenders that I think you felt you could trust. Either guy could go in. This was Derek Dunn and Jason Argue, and you were going to be okay with the performance that either guy could put on for you. And I feel like finally again right now with DeBrouwer and Roden, I feel like you can just put any guy in. You know you're going to get solid goaltending because, yes, DeBrouwer's the player of the week. He had the 2 big wins, but Austin Roden was fantastic yesterday too.
Yeah, he's played really well this year for a first-year guy. The team has lots of confidence in him as well, and he seems to be playing with confidence. And, again, he's a big goaltender. He's a big, strong goalie. I think those are the types of guys that the team will have confidence in, and he doesn't get too rattled. He's very focused and pretty mature, for a first-year guy. So they make a nice tandem. They're going to keep challenging each other and, battling for starts and ice time, and that's a healthy rivalry to have within the club. And, they seem to be getting along well as teammates and that too. And, it's a great tandem so far. But, again, we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves here. We're only 14 games into the season, but, those guys have definitely been a big part of our most recent success, that's for sure.
You've got the Cowichan Valley Capitals on Wednesday and again next Tuesday. You haven't seen that team since the early portion of the preseason, but you know the coach very well. So what do you know you're going to be expecting from a Bob Beattie coach team on Wednesday?
Well, they're going to work hard. It sounds like a cliche, but they definitely are going to work hard. I think they've got a little bit of veteran flavor on the back end. They've got some good size on the back end. Their goaltending is solid. They're, like I said, a hard-working club. They always play us tough. It's a tough rivalry, for sure. Just another good Island Division rivalry here, and I think it's just straight up, honest, hard-working hockey, and that's the way they play the game. So it's always a fun challenge to play them, and I know they're hungry to beat us. I think the quiz question or whatever you guys call it there at the beginning mentioned our record from last year, and both choices had us winning the season series. So I don't know what the answer is, but at any rate, I'm sure they want to change that this year. So they're going to be hungry, and we have to be hungry as well.
I know the answer to this question before I ask it, but for those that are listening and watching, I want you to explain it, because a lot of coaches, I know this for a fact, would look at Wednesday's game and say, hey guys, we have a chance to grab a share of first place in the division if we can win here. But under your system, you're looking at your 5-game segment goal, and I'm sure that you're not even going to mention the standings at all. Am I right about that?
100%. We don't go there with our club, and we're not going to start going there now. So it's just the way it is. We just want to get to game 15 and keep playing solid, and then, we'll turn the page from there. And just it's again, it sounds like a bit of a cliche, but I think it's really important to live in the day by day and then live in the now and not get too caught up in anything outside of that. So, really trying to help teach our players to be that way. Again, focusing in tomorrow and having a good practice. It's the weekend's over now, and it was fun. It was enjoyable, all that kind of stuff. But we have to have a good practice, and then we can turn the page and be ready for Wednesday and have a really good game. And just keep doing that. The next day will be a work day too, and every day you just try to get better and stay focused on your job every day. Do the best you can, and just be true to the process. Right? I mean, this is a long season, and we want to peak at the end. We want to be a really good playoff team. We want to make the playoffs. I mean, all these things have to happen first. So, it's just focus on one day at a time and not get too caught up in things such as the standings. And, I think everybody's aware that, there's strong rivalry in our division with all of the teams that we play against. So, when you're playing against your own division, it's always a little bit of a bigger game, but it's not because of the standings. It's just because of the fact that they're our neighbors. We play them all the time, and we want to have a good, hard, challenging rivalry with every team. I think that's important in our division. So looking forward to getting that rivalry fired up again with Cowichan.
I can't believe I'm going to hold you on a little bit longer because you're probably watching this right now, but you're a big fan of the Jays. You weren't able to see much of Game 1 of the ALCS. Are you finally getting to watch and be a fan of it tonight for Game 3?
Well, I was trying to. I had to do a lot of things around my house, but I cranked it up on the volume and was kind of in and out of the room. I'm looking forward to going to watch the rest of it. It's been a little frustrating early. I don't know what's happened since we came on the show, but it just seems like they can't quite get the consistency going with the bats, and a couple little moments that seem to be going against them right now. But it's funny that they're the type of team that once they they just get it crack and they could just go nuts again and just really be unstoppable. So I think all of us are waiting for that to happen. So obviously the pressure's on. So hopefully tonight that will happen. And yeah, I'm a pretty big baseball fan. I really enjoy baseball a lot and enjoy the sport, period. But the Jays, I think you and I talked about this before about, their 2 World Series, 92 and 93, and talk about remembering exactly where you were when they won it and all that kind of stuff. So it's exciting to watch them here in the playoffs, and hopefully they can find a way to win tonight because it's a really important game.
Coach, appreciate the time. We'll chat again Wednesday.
Thanks a lot, Dan.
That is head coach and general manager of the Clippers, Mike Vandekamp, joining us here. When we come back, Shawn Guison and Austin Crossley, a couple of Clipper defensemen, and we're going to play a game with them called Tic-Tac-Toe. I'll explain that next. Back on Off the Ice, the Clippers Hockey Show, second segment. We're joined by Austin Crossley and Shawn Guison. We're going to talk about their hockey careers. We're also going to play a game called Tic-Tac-Toe. It's a tic-tac-toe variant, and the idea is I'm going to ask a question. It's going to have 2 answers. If you give me both answers before your opponent and you're correct, you get to put, in Shawn's case, an O, in Austin's case, an X on the tic-tac-toe board. And the first player to complete a tic-tac-toe wins, and they get a prize pack. Otherwise, I'll find some other way to break the tie if no one can win at tic-tac-toe. It's going to be exciting. But let's start talking some hockey here. Austin Crossley, background to get to this point in your career. Tell me where you played, some of the teams you've been on, some of the championships that you might have won along the way to get here to Nanaimo.
I don't know where I kind of started. To get here to Nanaimo, I moved to Prince George to play Tier 1 hockey there, and then it just kind of took off. I got better. I wasn't very good when I got there because I was used to playing a little bit lower division, and I was one of the top guys in in Fort St. John there where I'm from, and then from Prince George I was one of the bottom guys, which was tough to kind of get used to, and then I moved to Kamloops last year, played some junior B, and I got scouted by Mike there, and then I moved here.
I know you had a chance because I think AP'd with the Spruce Kings for a little bit, so you had a chance to go there. Why choose Nanaimo?
Why choose Nanaimo? I don't know. Nanaimo's just a nice place to live. It's a great place to live. The team's obviously been pretty good the last few years that Mike's been coaching it, and
A lot of guys aren't used to the big travel that comes with Junior A, but the KIJHL, it's so spread out. You must be a guy that's very used to the travel after playing Junior B.
Oh, yeah, the travels, I'm used to it by now because I'm from Fort St. John, too, because you got hardly anywhere around you except for Dawson Creek is the closest place, and then you have to go to, like, Edmonton to get to your league games and stuff like that. But, yeah, I'm no rookie at traveling.
Could be off the ice. Obviously, there's a lot on the ice, but what are the factors that go into making that jump from being a Junior B player to being a Junior A player in the BCHL?
Probably just speed. You gotta like know where you're gonna put the puck before you get it. You gotta know what play you want to make before you grab the puck, and you gotta be confident out there and quick too.
As you're trying to become a regular in the BC Hockey League, what are some of the things that personally you need to be working on right now?
Probably my foot speed and just being more relaxed in the D zone and O zone because I'm just I don't know, I'm kind of nervous with the puck right now, and I think I need to relax more.
You always have different relationships with each coach, but I think both Coach Donahue and Coach Vandekamp are pretty hands-on guys. So in terms of helping you progress, what's your relationship like with Mike, and then what's your relationship like with Dustin in terms of helping you out?
Kind of tough. They both like help us out in different ways. Dustin's more of a skill guy. He helps us out with our individual skills and stuff, and Vandy helps us out with like our rounded game, like our mental part of the game, like thinking systems and stuff like that.
You look like you don't have much of a problem going up against 19 and 20-year-old guys, even though you're only in your 17-year-old BCHL season with a 99 birth date. Is that how you feel out there? Because certainly you do look comfortable.
Yeah, I'm more comfortable now because last year I did play with some older guys too as a 16-year-old in the KIJHL. Yeah, so it's easier when you move up through like the junior leagues too. It's just and then being a bigger guy kind of helps out as well.
Shawn Guison, your road to get to the BC Hockey League. Tell me about some of the travels that you had, some of the championships you might have won, some of the places you played.
Yeah, I played Kelowna minor hockey pretty much my whole life. A bunch of kids that I played with, they moved on and played prep school and a bunch of that stuff, and I didn't really see the need to do that. costed too much money, so I just stuck with Kelowna minor hockey. And then I won 2 provincial titles with the midget team there, the AAA team. Beat Crossley's team and provincials too, which is good. And 3rd year of midget, I went to the BC MMO, played for the Okanagan Rockets, where Jason Williamson, the head scout of Nanaimo, was my coach. So he scouted me for this team, and yeah.
What did it mean to you to get to play with the Clippers as an affiliate a little bit last year, to get a taste of what Junior A was all about?
Oh, I was really nervous. My first shift, I got scored on, so that didn't really help. And then I got to play 3 games, so by the 3rd game, I was feeling a little bit comfortable, and it was good.
You knew some of the guys a little bit from being around for a short time last year, and you knew Matt Kowalski obviously very well. How was the adjustment like, just in the social standpoint, coming to Nanaimo?
Yeah, it was good. It was definitely a lot easier than not knowing anybody. So, yeah, it was definitely a lot easier.
Did you expect at this point of the season, we're through 14 games, that you'd play the amount of minutes that you played, that you'd be a go-to guy, for example, in an overtime like yesterday in Merritt? Because for a first-year guy, it's pretty rare, especially coming straight out of the BC Major Midget League, to play the types of minutes that you played.
I don't really try to think about that. I just go out there and play, and if the coach wants to put me out there, I guess I'll just go out there and try and play the best I can.
When we watch you, you look like a guy that doesn't have any panic in you at all. Is that just the way that you look on the outside, or are you one of those guys on the inside that you're just not an easily panicked person?
Sometimes I just don't think. I just play, and when I'm into it, I can stay calm and make plays and stuff. But once my head is thinking other things, I kind of crumble. But when I'm into it, I'm nice and calm, and I can make those plays. And then when I know that my coaches can trust me.
You know what the Penticton V's are all about. You're an Okanagan guy, so you've followed that program at least a little bit. You go in there, and that team, I mentioned the stat with Mike, since the beginning of last year, 30 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie. You guys go in there, not just win the game, but shut out that team. What did that mean as the game was going on, as it started to unfold? Talk about the emotions that you had personally and as a group.
It was pretty amazing, because growing up, I would always hear on the radio how amazing the Penticton V's are, and how like their streaks is like 42-1 or whatever that one year when they're really good. So being able to go into their barn and get that shutout, it's pretty amazing.
What was it like playing on the small ice in Merritt? Have you ever played there before in any of your other days? Were you used to it?
In senior Adam and novice, I played there a bunch, and then once Pee Wee came, Kelowna is a pretty big organization there, so they had Tier 1 and Merritt had Tier 4, so I never really got to play them again. And then last year when I got called up with the Clippers, I was able to play in Merritt.
So you know a little bit about that rink. Now, what about consistency? Mike talks about that all the time. For you, as someone that is emerging as kind of a go-to defenseman, what do you need to do to develop that consistency in your game?
Just stay confident in myself. And just keep on playing hard, listen to the coach, play my systems well.
That's Shawn Guison and Austin Crossley. We're going to get them to play a game now called Tic Tac 2. I'm going to ask a question. First one of you, grab your bells and make sure that when you answer me, you talk right into those microphones. Keep them real close. First guy to chime in, and Joe's going to watch as well. You get a chance to put Shawn an O or Austin an X on the Tic Tac 2 board, and the winner is going to win a delicious lunch prize pack. I'm giving it away what the prize is here. Are you ready, gentlemen?
Yes, we are.
Which 2 Nanaimo Clippers are from Vernon? Shawn Guison.
Matt Kowalski and Spencer Houston.
That is correct. Put an O on the board, sir. Right in the center, as we thought he might do. Other than Connor McDavid, name one of the other 2 NHL co-scoring leaders with 6 points. Shawn Guison.
Austin Matthews.
Incorrect. There are no steals. The other 2 players are Stastny and Marchand. Both have 6 points along with Connor McDavid. Question number 3. Which Nanaimo Clipper wears number 2? Austin Crossley. That is correct. Sir, put an X on the board. He's going top right. Shawn Guison went right in the middle. Name a Nanaimo Clipper, gentlemen, who has 2 goals this season. Shawn Guison.
Myself.
That is correct. Shawn Guison gets to put an O on the board. Austin Crossley, you have to get this next question or make sure that Shawn doesn't. Name two teams that the Clippers have beat this season. Austin Crossley.
Merritt Centennials and the Penticton Bees.
Going with the last 2 wins. That was pretty easy. Sir, put an X on the board. That is Austin Crossley for the block in our tic-tac-toe game right now. Well done, sir. Name 2 non-Canadian teams in the NHL's Pacific Division. 2 non-Canadian teams, Austin Crossley.
Phoenix Coyotes and Pittsburgh Penguins.
Incorrect. There's no steals. Arizona, I would have given you that. Arizona Coyotes is 1, but the other non-Canadian teams in the division, Anaheim, LA, San Jose. The other 3 are all Canadian, Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver. We're still going. It's a stalemate right now. Name me a team. This is kind of similar to a previous question, so listen very careful. Name me a team the Clippers have played twice this season. Shawn Guison.
Vernon Vipers and Alberni Valley.
You only needed to name 1, but Vernon and Alberni are 2. And there was one more team, and that was Trail. You've already played twice. So you get to put another O on the board. All right, Austin Crossley needs a big block here. This one might be a little bit difficult. How well do you know your coach, guys?
I don't know.
maybe
We'll
not
find
that
out
well.
here.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Other than the Clippers, name 2 teams that Mike Vandekamp has coached. That was a very not sure ring of the bell from Shawn Guison. What do you think?
Vernon Vipers and Merritt Centennials.
That is correct. Shawn Guison for the win in tic-tac-toe. 4 right versus Austin Crossley with 2 right. Congratulations, Shawn Guison. You win a Subway Delicious Lunchtime Prize Pack. You can enjoy that. Make sure you don't enjoy that on the road because you'll probably be getting some of those for free on the road. But in your spare time, you can get a sandwich, a soup, some cookies, whatever you want. Congratulations for winning tic-tac-toe. Joe D, hockey trivia. Boy, you're tough with these questions. Give us the question, the answer, and our winner.
Yeah, so we mentioned earlier today the Clippers playing Cowichan Valley Wednesday. Make sure you tune into the Wolf because we'll have the game here. What was their record against the Capitals last year? Was it A, 5-3, or B, 7-1? And well, the answer is 7-1. Joshua, congratulations for getting the right answer to that one.
The Clippers, in large part, getting that division title the last 2 seasons because of their excellent record within the division. 7-1 against the Caps last year, 7-1 against the Grizzlies last year as well. The only team they had a losing record against was the Powell River Kings, but then they swept Powell River in round 2 of the playoffs. Mike Vandekamp, the happy head coach and general manager of the Clippers, joined us off the top. His team has won 3 consecutive games in a row on an interior road trip. Very tough to do. 4 consecutive games overall. For Joanne D, this is Dan Marshall. Good night from Off the Ice.
You've been listening to Off the Ice, the Clippers Hockey Show. Join us again next Monday night at 7 on Nanaimo's Rock 1069 The Wolf.